How's it going, everybody? This is Joseph Crudup. Welcome to the Joseph Crudup Show. Today is April the 13th, 2021. And, not knowing about what has happened. I mean, first, it was May the 25th, 2020, when George Floyd was killed by David Chavez. And then Sunday, it became an unforgettable moment again in Minneapolis when the police had fatally shot the 20-year-old boy who was black. His name is Dante, and he was 20 years old when something happened, and then here we go again. That was last day. We see people protesting. We seen games in Minnesota have been canceled. Minnesota Wild, Minnesota Twins, and the Timberwolves because of this, and you just can't get over that for everything that goes on around here in the world that we live in, and there's all stuff going on. It's happening again. I mean, there was about almost a year, so it was like 10 months ago, and now today, and I mean, it's just scary, very scary stuff going on. It's happening every day, but I want I want to take a look and see what and find out what happened now. Well, now we're going to CNN and take a look what's happening here. I mean, this is going bad, and it was going bad towards here in Minneapolis, and it's just not the same what's happening here. Now, Dante White's mother was emotionally recounting her son's death, and we're gonna find out. That was today, and that's happening. It isn't happening, but it is what it is, and that's what's going on now. Dante's Dante White's mother was emotionally recounting her son's death, and it says Kate White speaks about the last time she spoke to her son, Dante White, before he was fatally shot by a police officer during a traffic stop in Minneapolis. The same thing goes to everybody that knows about knows about traffic stop, and it's just, I mean, oh my goodness, how 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 this all done and all is all about. I just hope the bun bee will go away. That bun bee happy in the what? So anyway, it just isn't right. It's all this knocking on the door every single time. Every single time that we saw it about it's all about the shoot. The shootings that went wildly enough. Now, here's it is now. What we covering it now. It looks like this, and it seems like Brooklyn Center Morrow says he has not accepted the registration for the officer that shot White. Brooklyn Center Morrow Mike Elliott was grilled during another tense news conference today after he announced that the officer who was shot, Dante White, has submitted her registration. People in the courtroom, people in the room during the news conference expressed their concerns that the officer, Kim Potter, who will be allowed to resign and not be fired. Elliott responded that he has not accepted her registration yet. He said her office. He said his office is counting to review the mail. So this is so what the officer had done. He accidentally fairly shot a guy, Dante White, and and was believed to be foul. But the officer have a sound. The whole stuff that do going on over and over. I mean, it's sad to see another man get killed by police, and we have to do something. I mean, there's the whole stuff they're doing not gonna going on in Minneapolis, Brooklyn, Minneapolis. It's just now. I mean, it's just unacceptable, and I hope I hope the demonstrators don't burn down the community again and again. That's what we have to be looking for. They stay peaceful, and that's why they had to do the right thing, stay peaceful, and doing some other things, the good things that we're doing, and also do protesting and very peaceful. They stay peaceful. That's what they do. That's what they does. Since by since the Biden administration is taking over, and when Joe Biden took office, that was on January the 20th. He knows what's going on, and somehow it do happen. Just it's not held to the person at the high fight it has been. It's happening every time, every single time every time we see the police get kill a guy, and it's just going uncalled for, and people going mad, and they will class the police. Is just, I mean, it's a crazy thing, and a crazy town, and a crazy city that goes on around. What goes around comes around. It's just a matter of time when until things get out of hand and getting out of control. And yeah, we know about this whole stuff going on that just knows about it. We know Joe Biden talks about gun control, and somehow in some way it just do not matter to me. Do not matter for anything that can happen here on this world here. That's for sure. So what the news is all about is not true. It's all about the amount of time before we get this inside. So anyway, it goes on and on. It doesn't make it does not matter. So now the latest, the police shooting down on Dante White. Here's how it goes now. Here now, sometimes it goes not to plan. Now here's a look at this of what we go what we're covering here. It says the protesters gathered for a second night Monday after an officer shot and killed Dante White during a traffic stop in Brooklyn City, Minnesota on Sunday. Police described as an incident shooting, saying Officer Kim Potter intended to deploy a teaser, but instead fired a gun. Bolter has resigned from the Brooklyn Sun Police Department. Police released body cam footage of the traffic stop and the shooting yesterday. Now, Dante White's family described their pain and frustration that he was shot and killed by a Minnesota police officer on Sunday. The mother of White's 2-year-old son said he was stolen from the family. My son, he don't have dad. Shana DeBarco said at a news conference today. I feel like they stole my son's dad from him. White's unspoken love of her brother, White's father, because he was too heartbroken to address the crowd himself. A yellow thing the family said. My nephew was 20 years old. 20 years old. His aunt said he was loved. He was ours. He came from us. One of White's cousins grew emotionally as he described how he won't be able to spend another holiday with him. I won't be able to spend holidays with him anymore, he said, adding that the 4th of July was their favorite because they set off warming candles together. We're not going to be able to do that no more, he said. Now, on those news, about 3 hours ago, Brooklyn sent Mayor's message to the community. We're taking this situation very seriously. Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott said he hopes to the message the city's leadership can send to the community following the police shooting on Dante White is that we're taking this situation very seriously. Elliott said despite things not unfolded the way we thought, ultimately they should unfold. He added that he hopes that we're turning over a new leaf. The mayor said he's confident that the city and police department will development and community-based reports, which includes working with strong forces within the community who are influences and also paternally directed with the police department. Elliott expresses his hope that the leadership will provide people the opportunity to speak up and deliver their grievances directly to the government. We want the community to know that this leadership for the department here, these are two individuals who are in the active shape of protection. Now, they both are committed to engaging the community, engaging people who are out here protesting. That's the message we want to send. We think that we can do both. We can we can keep the community safe, and we can do that by working with the community and working with leaders, as it explained. Now, Brooklyn Center's acting police chief Tony Grumner, speaking at the news conference today, said he just learned about the change to the police department in the past hour. Early in the news conference, Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott said the police chief Tom Cannon has resigned following the shooting. Following the shooting of Dante White, the officer who shot White, Kim Powell, who has also resigned. It's very chaotic right now. We were just informed less than an hour and a half hour or an hour ago about the whole change of status. There's just a lot of chaos going on right now. We're just trying to wrap our heads around the situation and try to create some calm, says Gordon Gordon, who has been with the police department for 19 years. Ellen said Gordon has spent a lot of time in the community and knows the city well. Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Mayor Mike Elliott said that the former officer who fatally shot Dante White, Kim Potter, decided on her own to resign from the police department. We did not ask her to resign. That was a decision she made, he said. He said he couldn't agree more with the officer's decision. Now, the Floyd family will fight for justice for Dante White. George Floyd's brother extending his family's condolences to the family of Dante White. We will stand in support with you all, President Floyd said at the news conference today. We will fight for justice for this family, just like we're fighting for our brother, he added. Please pray for this family. Floyd was killed in May 2020 after Derek Chauvin, a former Minneapolis police officer, placing his knee on Floyd's neck. When he pleaded, I can't breathe. Chauvin, he is charged with second degree unintentional murder, third degree murder, and second degree manslaughter. Is currently on trial. The trial testimony began this morning. White was killed Sunday during a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, which is about 10 miles away from where Chavez trial is playing out. Now, Ben Crump, an authority for the family of Dante White, spoke during the news conference about the police shooting of White in Minnesota. Crump said it was a real sweet moment to be speaking into the crowd because George Floyd's family, who he also represents, came out to support White's family. His personality so since outlawed since White was killed just 10 miles from where the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chavez is taking place. Grant said it was hard for him to inform learning that a police officer would kill an unarmed black man during such a critical trial regarding his excessive force. If ever there was ever a time when nobody should be killed by police, it is during this presidential trial of Derek Chavez. He said, "We believe with everything in our heart, Kate, that police will be on their Katie, that police will be on their best behavior, that they will exercise their greatest standard of care, that they would consider under this situation in a way that they had never considered in America. Regarding liberty, 2 days ago, Ray was killed during a traffic collision. Grant said, Dante Roy's life matters, he said. Now, the Brooklyn, seen on Minnesota, Mike Elliott said today that Police Chief Tim Gannon has resigned following the shooting on Dante White. The officer who shot White has also resigned. As of this morning, we have the registration. We have received a registration letter from Officer Kim Pollard, and in addition to that, we have also received a letter of registration from the police chief, Elliott said at a news conference today. Elliott said that Commander Tony Gruner is going to be the acting chief. Now this is what's happening for us. That there are going to be some changes. There's going to be some cops behavior, and the way that they can stop it is be a good cop and try not to do anything. Try not to kill another army. now, now, Brooklyn Senator Mike Elliott told CNN that Officer Kim Pollard has resigned from the Brooklyn City Police Department. Pollard is accused of killing the 2-year-old Dante White in what the police chief described as an incidental shooting. She had been with the police department for 26 years. The letter to Elliott after Chief Manager Reggie Edwards and Police Chief Tim Gannon part of what that she loved every minute of being a police officer and serving this community to the best of my ability. So it's happening every single time. This is how it's all about. This is just a matter of time that this is going to come true, and that's what's happening here. And Dante White's family, our condolences go out to the White's family as well. But I will never forget what happened that day on May the 25th, 2020. And I will never forget what happened on that day on April the 11th when Dante Rice was killed. So now, this whole stuff that came out for the just a matter of time that you saw it. That's what you saw this was the place. And things will not look good in Brooklyn City, Minnesota. Maybe that Minnesota. Brooklyn City, Minnesota. That was let's say. Yeah, nobody didn't nobody didn't burn the place up, nobody didn't burn the city, nobody didn't like they used to do in May, late May, and time goes on. They just they just don't count. But anyway, they just didn't count. But things are quiet down, things are dying down for a little bit. You just don't know. what's coming next for real. And I hope everything's still safe at what has happened here today. It's just this is all the continues and anyway. It's just it just don't matter. So anyway, you drop the hammer and you see what's going on, and you just got to be designed. Then more job was on the line, like the game should. More job was on the line. So the news for today is for today. You know that the vaccines are coming, and here's some news, and I want you to check this out. Now here's the vaccine. It says now. I'm going to report about the Johnson vaccines now. Here's the vaccinations. They are fully vaccinated now. 21.1. Now it's gonna be 21.8. Now it's 21.2. I mean 22%. So yes, that's an. Now look at that for the Dell, folks. Look at that for the Dell. This is now you look at this right now. You just say, "Wow, what is going on now?" North Carolina paused Johnson and Johnson COVID vaccine distributions, and this is how it's happened. They just get rid of those vaccines because they were not good at all. It says North Carolina is pausing the administration of the Johnson and Johnson COVID-19 vaccines across the state, following the recommendations of the Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease and Control. North Carolina Department of Health and Human Service Secretary Dr. Manny Conant made an announcement Tuesday morning. In a joint statement earlier Tuesday, the CDC and FDA said they were investigating a club in six women that, according to 6 to 13 days after vaccination, the club was opened in the sciences of the brain, along with reduced plenary counts, making it usual treatment for blood clots. The blood treatment hammers for the gas is dangerous. Our primary concern is the health and safety of all North Carolinians. Urban ambulance and imbalance of caution, while following the recognition of the FDA and CDC have paused the administrations of the Johnson and Johnson COVID-19 vaccines until we learn more. Cohen said the safety system is places working as it should be. If you had an appointment for Pfizer or Moderna, please go to your appointment as planned. If you had an appointment for Johnson and Johnson, your appointment will be rescheduled. Cohen, along with the NCDHHS Division of Public Health Fundamentalists, amend the following more. Friendly will be answering questions about the decision at 12 p.m. each Tuesday. WSLL 12 News plans to stream the news conference on air. WSLL12.com and on Facebook. More than 6.8 million doses of the J&J vaccine have been administered in the U.S. The vast majority with no or missed side effects. Now, what happens is if the vaccines they get this legend, they throw it away. If they don't, they still here. They still safe. That's what it's all about, and that's what it is, and that's what they're doing. That's what they were doing all those vaccines. That's how it's gonna how it's gonna happen. That's how it's gonna work. That's just what happens when people when There was a discrimination, and that's what it is. Joe Biden on vaccines. Now, here's what he said. Now, here's a look at this. Now, they said they had enough vaccines, and that's what they have planned. Now, here's what it says is happening today, folks. That's what happened. People said they're gonna have 100 million vaccines at the end of May. And here was he was talking about. That's what he was talking about. Everything's going around and then, and it says President Joe Biden and former President Barack Obama will appear in an hour-long NBC special on Sunday, honoring and promoting COVID-19 vaccinations as they hope to convince hesitant Americans to get shots. The special comes as the Biden administration races to get shots in arms and combat vaccines hesitation, particularly after it was recommended that the U.S. pause the use of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines over the six reports U.S. cases of the rare and severe types of blood clot. The Water Low Sleeves special will air at 4 p.m. on Sunday on NBC, according to the news release from the Northern Silver Nation. It is a presentation by Walgreens and was created by in a partnership and separate nations made to support activities, which is a national public education and grassroots organizations efforts, focusing on the equalizing access to the COVID-19 vaccines and building trust in the vaccines. Now, Biden will make remarks during the special, and Obama will make alongside with former NBA stars Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal to encourage Americans to get vaccinated so they can help end the pandemic and return to the normal lives. Biden's chief COVID-19 advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, was speaking on separating fact for factoring about the vaccines and will be interviewed by actor Matthew McConaughey. The special will also feature former First Lady Michelle Obama and a whole slate of celebrities, including Sterling K. Brown, Laura Cora, Billy Crystal, Eric Dane, Ryan Ingold, Dr. Van Gotter, Faith Hill, Jennifer Husband, Dale Jarrett, King Jara, John Jones, Evan Lawler, Jennifer Lopez, um, Demi Lupin, John Mahale, John Lennon, Kevin Danson, Ellie Popular, Scott and the Sanifine, Gene Cinema, and Rhino Skies. Now, I'm gonna go this again. The husband and wife duo and NFL quarterback Russell Wilson and Alex Keller are set to host the special. The Obamas previously appeared in an ad campaign to combat vaccine scarcity alongside former Presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush, and their respective former First Ladies. The ad campaign included a minute-long postal video that shows the full former presidents and former First Ladies receiving their vaccines, and another that featured Clinton, Bush, and Obama standing together to urge Americans to step up and get vaccinated. This is Just Good. I will see you Thursday.